PlayStation 5 is right around the corner, and we've already got our hands on a console sent directly from Sony for review purposes. Is the PS5 really as big as it looks in photos online? Does the DualSense feel like an upgrade to the PlayStation controller design? Well, answers to these questions and many more right here. Let's check it out. First up, a few notes. If you're watching this video near the time that it was released, then that means we're still under embargo. We can't show you any games running on it other than a small section of the non-VR Astrobot sequel, Astro's Playroom, and we can't even turn the thing on. Nope, not at all. This is an unboxing only video, plus some brief impressions of the controller at the very end. Good to go? Alright. To be honest, it's a very economical box. There's very little waste here, everything appears to be biodegradable, for example the twist ties are cardboard, not plastic, and it's overall just a very slick, tightly packed package. On top is a horizontal box that holds everything other than the console inside, including the power cord, HDMI cord, and USB-C cable for the controller. I didn't show that last cable here because I kinda missed it the first time, but it's inside one of these folds right in there. Oh hey, and this is in there, the controller. This is the DualSense controller, a renamed and redesigned controller for the first time truly since the original DualShock 1 back on PS1. It's been over 2 decades, but Sony is now ushering in a new era. The big difference is the adaptive triggers, the super precise haptic feedback inside, and the change to more angled grips instead of rounded ones. Oh, and obviously the visual change. We'll talk more about this controller later. Now let's take a look at the console itself. It's big, isn't it? Pretty heavy too. The entire package itself from Sony, including a second controller, weighed in at a solid 18 pounds. And I can tell you that the vast majority of that was this big ol' hunk of hardware. The front has a power button, eject button, USB-C port, and a standard USB port, as well as in the case of this edition, a disk drive. However, a diskless digital-only version is also available for $100 less, but we only got our hands on this edition from Sony. Visually, you probably love it or hate it. The PS5 has a bold, sharp design that's extremely different from anything else out there. Just another black rectangle, this is not. If you want to set it on its side, you need to use this included stand because it's not flat on either side, so it gets a little wobbly if you try to not use the stand. Flip it around and you'll find an Ethernet port, 2 more USB ports, a spot for your power cable, and an HDMI port. That's it. Notice anything missing? Yeah, there's nowhere to plug in the PS camera, which is required to use your PSVR headset. Sony told us consumers will need to order the adapter separately, but as of the time of this recording, we don't know anything else, and we still don't even have it yet from Sony themselves, so yeah, more details on that soon. Well, that's everything in the box. Even though we haven't gotten the chance to try it yet, let's at least see what it looks like next to the PSVR. Ah, there we go, that's better. The color scheme to me feels like a perfect match. I don't want to say the PSVR influenced the PS5 design, but it seems pretty obvious to me that's the case. They really do look like they were made for each other. Now let's go back to the controller. What makes it special are the adaptive triggers and the frankly amazing haptics. The adaptive triggers work by changing how much resistance is presented based on what you're doing in a game. The best example that I've seen so far is in the cooling springs level of Astro's Playroom. When you take the form of this springy robot, you pull down on the trigger to charge it up then release to launch. When pressing down, I can feel the increased resistance. It's kind of hard to describe, but it feels amazing in practice how much variation there is. Another example is how the haptics work. Depending on what I'm doing or what I'm walking on in a game, the controller actually has micro vibrations that really precisely change the texture of the feedback that you're getting in your hand, depending on if you're on metal, glass, ice, wood, sand, or whatever. I could close my eyes and tell what I was walking on just from how it felt. It goes without saying that I cannot wait to see how this is utilized in VR games made for PS5, and it puts all other controller haptics and consumer devices that I have tried to shame. I really hope Sony puts this tech in their new PSVR controllers, whatever those may be, because it's a literal game changer. And there you have it, folks. That's our unboxing of the PS5 and some quick impressions of the DualSense PS5 controller. We'll have more coverage of the PS5 the rest of this week and next week as we lead up to the console's launch, so stay tuned. Let us know if you have any questions down below, and for everything VR, AR, immersive reality, etc., stay tuned to us here on YouTube and UploadVR.com. Thanks for watching.